what we're gonna do now is we're going to attempt to add some more engines in a second stage. We might actually also add some more lifting surfaces if it seems like the right thing to do. And we'll be back with an update on that momentarily. We've got better, oh geez. I'm trying to add more lifting surfaces to this monstrosity. We've got 2 stages of rockets on here now, and I'm attempting to add more lift surface. It's not easy. It's not really letting me. Nope. This way. This way. This way. This way. No. 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 None of those. None of those. You just are completely refusing to do what I want you to do. And it's really frustrating. Nope. 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 Alright, well, I give up. Let's trash this piece and launch and see what happens. We've got 2 stages of launch. We've got 2 stages. Alright. And we're gonna get hopefully the first will have enough energy to, holy poly, that is gonna cause a problem. Okay, but let's just do it and see what happens. And maybe we can lift off fast enough. Okay, we've lost all of our extra little flappy things, but we did lift off, so that's good. Alright, now we're gonna take it slow, you guys. Gonna take it slow because, as we've seen, this craft has a tendency to rip itself apart. We've also got some new aerodynamic problems, which is not good. So we're gonna turn on our stabilization systems, which we don't generally have to do with this. But now we've got only three aerodynamic flaps on one side of the craft, which is just bound to make it wobble a little more than we've been experiencing. We're now at 18 meters per second. I feel good about 18 meters per second. We're not using a ton of our thrust. And I think I'm gonna actually throttle down a little bit, and we're just gonna wait because I want this to do well. I want this run to go well, and I feel good about it so far. We're about to run out of fuel in our first stage of our rocket ship, and they just went out, and now we're gonna detach them, and then we're gonna fire a second stage, and that's gonna want to fire much faster. So, whoa, that was too fast for I don't know why that second stage had so much oomph, but it did. We have a lot less to lift now because we've ejected our second stage of our rockets, so we can basically take this speed of 15 meters per second. Wow, they finally hit the ground. And I'm hoping to get around 3,000 meters. My goal is to get at 3,000 meters with this build, and I think that I should be able to do it. So let's see. I mean, the biggest threat to that goal at this point is ripping the craft apart, so I'm being extra careful. All right, we are at 2,800 meters. We are at 2,900 meters, with half a tank of fuel left in this second stage of our oh god, I can't even say it. Helicoptopodes. Helicoptopodes. 8-armed helicopter. In the time it took for me to say the name of the spaceship, it's not a spaceship, it's an Earth ship, we have surpassed 3,000 meters, and it looks like we're gonna get to 4,000 without any trouble. So this is excellent and very exciting. Yeah. This is certainly not the most efficient way to climb into the atmosphere of Kerbin, but it is, it works. It is working. I'm astounded by how well it's working, actually. And there are a number of things that we could do if the freaking building wasn't so small to make this more efficient. But we sort of have a limitation, and that's too bad. But we're gonna get to 5,000 feet on this trip, you guys. We're acquiring more of a wobble. I don't know where that came from, but it's getting more substantial as time goes on, and we are now listing substantially to the side. But we did get to 5,000 feet, or 5,000 meters. Oh, we just lost an engine. We lost 2 engines. They just flew off of the craft. I don't know why that happened, but quick. Let's do an EVA. And, oh, he got hit by the blade. He actually is substantially... so Helicoptopodes has a great deal more wind resistance than Bill Kerbal does. So he fell right away from the craft. He's headed down to his death quite rapidly. It would be nice if they installed parachutes in this game, but they did not. So I'm going to revert to the vehicle assembly building just so we don't have to watch Bill Kerbal die. All right, you guys, here is the moment of truth where we see if we can make this craft the first stage in a multi-stage flight. So we're gonna stick an SAS module on the bottom of that. Well, yeah, and we're gonna stick 2 decouplers, one here and one at the bottom, which we can't do right now because we have to add the fuel tanks. So I'm gonna try to add 2 liquid fuel tanks here, which is just a crazy idea because that's gonna be very heavy, but you know. And then we're gonna add an engine. And then at the bottom of that engine, we're gonna add another decoupler so that it can decouple from the I can't say it. Helicoptopodes. So it can decouple from the Helicoptopodes. Why did I name it that? Okay. And we're gonna stick, just so Bill Kerbal has a chance of survival, we're going to actually put a parachute on the top of this thing, which we haven't done previously. Okay, so now I think we got our stages correct. We're gonna fire our first stage, and then decouple, and then we're gonna fire our second stage, and then we are going to decouple, and then we're going to fire our actual rocket that will go to actual space. Let us hope that it works. Going to the launch pad. I forgot to take off all those wing parts that are going to immediately crash, but that's okay. I think. Okay, helicopter. Oh, nope, it's not okay. Take off, take off. Yay, oh no. Hey, he survived. Well, I don't know what went wrong. I don't know why everything exploded. I'm a little disappointed by how everything exploded. So let's take these things off because they are doing us absolutely no good. They were a good idea, poorly executed. We might have to add a little bit of height onto this craft. In fact, we almost certainly will. So let's do that. That's I think what we need to do. We need to add a little more height onto the craft. So let's do that, and then take these off, and then put them down there. And actually, that would make it so that those wing parts would, in fact, be perfectly legitimate. So let us attempt to add them back on, even though it's been really hard to do that in the past. I don't actually know if that's gonna help, but, you know, it looks cool, so that's good. All right, let's see if this goes extraordinarily poorly or not. Probably, but maybe not. Okay, well, it didn't instantaneously explode, so that's better than last time. Okay, we got our first stage, and we're gonna throttle up and see if we can get any lift at all. We can! We can! We have liftoff! We have freaking liftoff of the Helicoptopodes! Ah, god dang it, why did I name it that? Helicoptopodes! We have liftoff of Helicoptopodes 1, taking its time getting very high at all. But it's totally working! Okay, let's throttle up some because we can. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, that looks hot! Taken off! Yeah, with a rocket strapped to it! No problems at all! I am surprisingly excited about this! Alright, let's do it. Okay. We got 10 meters per second. We're at half a tank of liquid fuel. We might get to 1,000 meters on this first stage, which is very exciting. Now that I do not know if we're gonna be able to make it to space today, but I hope that we make it to space today. All right, this is exciting. All right, so okay, we're trying not to get too fast, but obviously there's a lot of weight here, so it's not going that fast. It's not pulling itself apart, and we've got now 14 meters per second of. Okay, I'm actually gonna slow that down because it might very well tear itself apart because I didn't put any struts on those engines at all. So they might just pop right off. All right, we're about to run out of our first stage. We've run out of our first stage, ejecting the second. All right, so now it is much easier to spin because we have a lot less weight on the outside of our craft. So we've throttled way down. We have quite a lot of liquid fuel. We have now reached 13,000 meters. And we're just gonna, woo, that's always scary when it happens. We're just gonna let things go for a while and see what happens. All right. Throttle up a little bit, but not too much. So this is, I'm gonna say that 1, 2, that's perfectly, that G-force that Bill Kerbin is experiencing right now, that is in no way too fast for a Kerbal to survive. I'm trying to throttle down. Okay, I did successfully throttle down. I don't know why it felt like it wasn't working, but it was. Okay. Now, there is, of course, a great deal of wind resistance that we're dealing with. The good news is that this is staying extremely stable. It's just like a top. It's just sitting there, facing straight up, facing directly towards space. And our first stage of the rocket is going to take us to definitely over 3,000 feet, possibly over 4,000 feet, which is just amazing news. I'm very excited about that. This is super cool. Super cool. Beautiful, beautiful thing that I've done. Look at how gorgeous it is. That is right. Yes! Okay, now the question is, will it detach and go to space? That is the question. We're gonna answer that question in a little bit of time, but I'm not going to push this thing too hard and cause it to completely destroy itself. I'm just not gonna do that. Not today. Not today. We have acquired a very slight wobble. I don't know where that came from or why we are experiencing it. I guess it's just a little bit of a windy day, but we have acquired a very slight wobble, and I am so excited. I'm so excited about what is about to happen. We are going to launch off of this floating sky platform with our freaking rocket ship. We have basically just taken the launch pad and shot it into space. I mean, not space, into the atmosphere. A fair bit, over 4,000 meters. We got to over 4,000 meters, you guys. So this is going to be this is our first, we're gonna try and go straight up from here. We probably won't make it to space today, but we're gonna try as soon as we detach. Okay, we're still headed up. What's happening? What's happening? Okay, there it goes, everybody. There it goes. Oh God, I didn't turn on. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, Helicoptopodes. Helicoptopodes. We are headed to, well, there's a bunch of floating struts on the outside of this. We are headed to maybe at least the upper atmosphere. I can't believe that I ruined this. Bye. Okay, let's try and point straight up, because I don't care if we get into orbit. I just want to get into space. I only want to get to space today. Alright. Okay, we are at 11,000 feet. This is a much more efficient way to travel. You can see it's dropping quite a bit right now, or maybe that's just the ground. That's just the ground. That's not. We're at 16,000 feet, 17,000 feet, meters, again, meters. Okay. We are definitely not going to make it to space today, is what I've learned. What I've learned through this experiment is we are definitely not going to make it to space today. We're at 1,000 meters per second, which ain't bad. There's a little trick you can use to try and make it to space when you otherwise... Wait! Are we gonna make it to space? Are we? We are... We're still going up. I think it's 70,000... 70,000... 79... Is that officially space? Yes! Space! We are in space! We made it to space! The first stage of our rocket was a day... Oh, yeah! First stage of our rocket was a freaking helicopter, and now our rocket is in space! Not only did we make it to... Oh, yeah. 100,000 meters, you guys! 100,000 meters. What in the world? Oh, yeah! we might have been able to, we could have totally gotten to a freaking orbit. Oh, I didn't even think that it was gonna be so easy. We could get into an orbit with the first stage of our freaking spacecraft being god dang helicopter. This is awesome. All right, let's look at us go. Oh man, all I have to do is add another little thing and we could get to the freaking moon using a helicopter. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Games with Hank. I am Hank. This has been Games with me, playing Kerbal Space Program, launching into space on the back of an 8-bladed Helicoptopodes. TFTBA.